Right, welcome back to another video. Friday again. Just gone on to my YouTube account and we are 23 subscribers away from 3,000. I want to hit it by the end of the year. So we pretty much need at least one more subscriber each day for the rest of the year and we'll hit it. So we should be able to do it, guys. Anyway, today is another day that's very similar to last week, so if you're sick of seeing the same thing, you're allowed to click off. I'm going to start off with a workout this morning first, and then we'll do some lifting, and then we've got some handstand push-ups again. But the workout is 5 sets every 3 minutes, 10 cal echo bike, 10 bar facing burpees, 15 thrusters at the same weight as last week, 43 or 95 pounds. And then we've got all the normal lifting, but I might try and build to a heavier complex today, just to make it a little more interesting. See how heavy I can go. And someone asked me for butterfly pull-up tips, so I might have to do that today. So we will see. But starting off with the, and also the black BM hat will be coming back very soon, so stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss out on another one. Right, let's get on with this workout. It's so hot in Brisbane now. This is so hot, and also it's the humidity that's the worst thing. You just sweat as soon as you come into the gym. And also, now this time of the year, I have to mow the lawns like freaking twice a week. That was tough. That was like all legs for me. Well, legs and shoulders, but the legs went the most. But my times were pretty consistent. These are all my times: 125, 128. 128 was slower because I was slower on the bike. 124 was faster because I picked up the pace on the bike because I was slower in round 2. 126 was trying to be exactly the same as the third round, but transition time was a little slower, and then 26 I was trying to be faster, but still a couple of seconds in the transition time. And that's the difference between winning and losing sometimes in workouts like that. Like it all seems very similar and you're like, oh, I was pretty consistent in all my rounds and I was pushing in all of them. But if you don't know where you're slowing down or what's happening and why your times are changing or why you're going slower and faster, then how will you know if you're getting better, or how will you know where you need to improve? So that's one thing that you have to do when you train, is know where you can pick up, what you did wrong, and then you can adjust on the next workout or whatever. Now we have lifting, so I'm going to warm up my snatches with the muscle snatch, and then we'll get into the complex, and I'll see how heavy I can go over 6 sets, because I still shred my hands. If you look at my hands, they are disgusting. I've always had hands like this my whole life, not just because of CrossFit or lifting a barbell. I've always had like dry, calloused hands. And don't be saying I need to put moisturizer on them. I've heard that enough. Right, just before the lifting, I'm going to have 2 of these things. They're 15 grams of carbs in them, and then I'm going to have 5 scoops of Powerade with some electrolytes, Dr. Hydrate, and then that will keep me going through lifting so I don't slack off or finish lifting and then want to stop. So for the complex, I'm gonna try hit 100. So I'm gonna go 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. I'll do 2 at 80 to start, and then I'll try end up at 100, which will be 6 sets. 80, 80, 80, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Alright, see how this goes. I think I'm going to speed through them like last week, where I basically didn't pause during my complex, because it like saves my hands if I just do it fast. So I'm going to do it fast. I hit 100, So that means you guys should subscribe and get me to 100,000 followers, subscribers. 100,000 subscribers, and I'll give $10,000 away. Yeah, I hit 100. I missed it on the first one because I caught it ugly, and sometimes I just drop my lifts if they're ugly because I know I'm gonna get it, but it was ugly, so start again. Right, now I'll just do I'll quickly get the pulls and the split squats done, and we'll move on to the handstand push-ups. Right, we've got my new cameraman, woman on the camera.
I'm a man.
Marnie's gonna be my new camera lady. And we're gonna start filming vlogs every single day. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
See? Show them what I did. That's it.
Who's a beast?
I'm a beast. That's all the lifting done. Now we have handstand push-ups and arms only echo bike again, but I know how I should be doing that, so I'll do it properly this time. I have to do 10 sets of 50 seconds and try and get 8 reps, and if I fail to get 8, I have to stay above 6. So hopefully we can get 10 sets today, and then the echo bike, and then some accessories, and then done. And then I may give some quick tips for butterfly pull-ups. My handstand push-ups feel like 3 times better today. Feel much faster and much lighter. How many can you do on both? 78. And that's it. Handstand push-ups done with some freaking techno bass music going on in the background. Now we just have echo bike with just arms, and I'll put like a couple of snippets in of that because it looks boring. Right, I'm just gonna do some knee accessory stuff. This stuff is something that I never want to do, but since I've been doing it more regularly and not skipping it, my knees have been a lot better than past years, I should say. I have mentioned that I've had like little niggles in my knees, but nothing compared to what I've had before. So I'm gonna do this, and then I promise pull-ups. that's accessories done. That's training done for the day. Now I'm just gonna get some grips on and we'll get into some pull-ups. Butterfly pull-ups. So I'm not gonna teach you how to do a pull-up, but I'm gonna give like some tips on how to improve your butterfly pull-up. So for starters, grips is a big thing. If your bar is super just super rough, chalky, rusty, rugged, I would recommend, well, you should get the base grips from Frog. The base, I use the base 2.0 because a lot of the bars at Torian are real rugged. If you have super slick bars, like they're powder coated and they're just like super slick, and if you use chalk, doesn't really help. Definitely use the Elite. I think they have the Elite 4.0 grips from Frog grips now. Those are the two grips for two different scenarios, and you need good grips when you're practicing or learning butterfly pull-ups, because you don't want to rip your hands, because you'll take so long to learn. Because if you practice on Monday and you rip your hand, you're not going to try again until the next Monday because your hand's shredded. So get some good grips. Like, I'm not promoting Frog because I'm sponsored. They are generally like the best grips you can get, and they have two different options for you as well. So good grips. Now the next thing is you want to be able to do the motion without your arms. Now do the motion without using your legs for your kip. So you're just going to start by like little pulls and little circles with your arms, and you're going to try and get that like circle motion. But the key thing here is to keep your core nice and tight. So they teach you this in like on-ramps and CrossFit and stuff, and you do need to listen, because as soon as people learn how to do butterfly, they just think you just flop around on the bar. No, if you want to be good and controlled, you have to keep your core nice and engaged and use it when you need it. So tight core, and you just want to like do like little circles on the bar just with your arms. You're not pulling, you're just like doing like little half circles, and keep your core tight. And then once you can kind of get that circular motion going, you kind of just use your feet to kip a little bit extra until you keep getting higher up the bar, higher up the bar, higher up the bar, and then you'll be doing a pull-up. That's basically how to get a butterfly pull-up. The motion, because you have to learn how to do the motion, because most people say, yeah, you do this kip, and they say now do butterfly, and it's completely different. You have to learn the motion, and that's how I warm up as well. I do that same thing if my shoulders are real cold. I just do like little ones, same for chest bars, little circles on the bar, and then I just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I'm doing a pull up, and then I'm doing a chest bar, and then boom, I'm like, I haven't just jumped up on the bar and just freaking wrecked my arms, shoulders. Another tip is, if you want to be good at butterfly pull-ups or chest bars, you have to have lots of arm strength. So you have to be able to do a lot of strict pull-ups. When I wasn't allowed to do kipping pull-ups or butterfly pull-ups until I could do 20 strict pull-ups at the gym. This is my first gym when I trained way back in like 2014. Had to be able to do 20 strict pull-ups, and I know for some people that's like, well, that's crazy. And I was a super light kid, so it was a lot easier for me than probably some other people. But I would recommend you do strict pull-ups. Say if you practice, you do a session where you practice your pull-ups, your kipping motion or whatever, do some sets of strict pull-ups. 5 times 5 is great, and if that gets too easy, add a little dumbbell, little kettlebell, and just do that. Just simple stuff, and it'll make your kipping pull-ups so much better. And then the next tip I would say is, when you do your pull-ups, if you want to do them really fast, you have to have your arms in control, and I try to like push and pull. So when I pull towards the bar, I'm pushing away, and it keeps me very like close to the bar, short range of motion, very fast. It doesn't really fatigue me for pull-ups because you're not really doing much of a pull. But I like to do a push and pull motion for my butterfly pull-ups. That's about it. That's about all the tips I can think of. I don't really do many pull-ups these days. It's more chest to bars. So key things are you need some good grips, base grips if your bar's real rough, if it's real slick, chalkless or the elite grips from Frog, and you need to be doing strict pull-ups. That will help you a lot, and learn the motion without having to just try and do the whole thing by itself. Just learn the little motions and then just add more of a kip as you go on. And you can do that in workouts too. If there's kipping pull-ups and you don't know how to do butterfly, just do like your forehead to the bar, but just still doing the butterfly. You don't have to get your chin to the bar. If you want to just learn the motion, do that. So that's basically everything I can think of for tips. I don't want to start talking about anything else because otherwise I'll just be yabbering on, and yeah, I hope those help you. And yeah, that's pretty much a wrap on the video. So I will see you guys next week for another session in the hot sun on Friday. Peace.